Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Nanny Joanne, and welcome back to my channel. As always, please give my video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And if you have subscribed, you are the real MVP, and I truly appreciate you for subscribing and tuning in. Now, back to our regular scheduled programming. All right, guys, so in today's video, I am going to be talking about what my tips and suggestions are for what should go in your nanny contract. And do you need a nanny contract? When to get a nanny contract? How to get a nanny contract? And what if my employer doesn't want to do a nanny contract? All right, guys, so first things first, what is a contract, nanny contract or employee contract? So people hear the word contract and they get a little bit scared because they think of legalities and legal terms and you're going to go to court. If you break the contract, then blah, 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 blah. A contract basically covers your butt and anybody else's butt that is involved. It has the responsibilities, date of hire, start, salary, PTO, if you get any sick days, holidays, what your duties and responsibilities are, termination clauses, anything that's of dire importance should go in a nanny contract. Who needs a nanny contract? Anybody who's a nanny, not a babysitter. If you have a full-time job, you definitely should have a contract. What if your employer doesn't want a contract? Well, then I suggest that you work on your communication skills and you make them aware of how important it is to get a nanny contract for them and for you. That way, at the end of the day, there are no things left up in the air and nobody's guessing, oh, wait, is that part of my job? Like, wait, this wasn't established before. Like, ugh. And now you're put in a bad spot and they're put in a bad spot too. All right, guys, so first things first, what goes in a nanny contract? So you want to think of it as kind of like a resume. In your nanny contract, you want to have your place of employment. You want to have who you're working for, then the address, the city, and the state. Zip code's not necessary unless you want to be super professional, I suppose. And you want to have their contact information. Then you want to have your information. Next, you want to have the start date of your employment. So if you start on May 5th, 2021, start date, and then usually contracts are maybe like 6 months or a year, depending on what agreement you and your employer have established. So start date, end date. Then you want to have the days and hours that you will actually be working. If you're working Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 12 to 6, and Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 to 7. Or if you're working on the weekends, make sure you have those written out so that nobody's like, oh, wait, I'm supposed to get off at 7 o'clock. Why is it 8:30 and you're still not here? Hello? Or if they ask you, oh, hey, I know you're not supposed to work on Saturday, but can we swap this day for that day? Like, no, like I have things to do on Saturday. Like these are my hours and my days of the week that we agreed upon. So no, I'm sorry, I can't swap out those days because I'm doing something. Unless you can and it's not a big deal. That's obviously it's your choice. In your nanny contract, you also want to have how much you're going to get paid. Now, if they are choosing to pay you a salary, let's say for a week's salary, you get paid $800. Okay, so does that include if you go over 40 hours? Or is it literally, here's $800 a week and I can work you like a horse? No, make sure that you clarify, okay, for a 40-hour work week, I am going to be getting paid $800. If I exceed a 40-hour work week, I would like to get paid, or it is agreed upon with the employer and Joanne that she will get paid time and a half or $20 extra. Whatever agreement you guys want to make, but make sure you write it. If your pay rate is also different for babysitting nights, make sure you write that. If for whatever reason I am babysitting, my hourly rate is $30 an hour or $20 an hour or $15 an hour, and it is not to be confused with my work week hours. Nor will I bank week hours for babysitting hours. Meaning, if you work 9 to 5 and they tell you, oh, can you babysit on Saturday and we'll just take it out of your Friday pay and you can leave Friday at 2 o'clock. It's like, no, I don't want to leave early on Friday. I want to get paid my full week's pay and what I'm going to be paid for when I babysit. Because sometimes they'll try to bank those hours and let you leave earlier so you can stay later on a Saturday or Friday night. And if you don't want to do that, you don't have to do that. You're not obligated. But if you do want to do that, again, that's your choice. Make sure you have on there when and how you will get paid. Are you getting paid weekly, daily, bi-weekly, check, cash, through Venmo? Make sure you have all that figured out so that you don't have any discrepancies, and so that when it's Friday, you're not like, hey, where's my money? You don't want that to happen. PTO, paid time off. Usually people who work, they get vacation, sick day, holidays. Will you get vacation, sick day, and holidays? Make sure you ask. So rule of thumb is people usually get 2 weeks paid vacation. So usually families, they choose 1 week and you choose 1 week for a total of 2 weeks. Full pay. So make sure you have that written on there. Along with PTO, people also have holidays, paid holidays, federal holidays, normal bank holidays. So there are 10 holidays that people typically get paid for. New Year's, MLK, President's Day, Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July, Veterans Day, Columbus Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. These are your 10 federal holidays that you should get paid because they get paid those days. Now, you're probably thinking, what about Easter? What about Good Friday? What about the 24th, Christmas Eve? And what about Black Friday? No, those are not federal holidays. They're just little holidays here that we threw in, and normally you don't get those days off unless, your family agrees that, okay, we're not going to be working these days. We have a light load, take the day off. And normally you don't get those days paid off, unfortunately. Or you will get those days paid off, so it'll be great. But normally those 10 that I listed are the ones that are federal holiday paid days off. Along with your PTO and federal holidays, you want to include whether you're going to be getting an annual raise or a review. So you can do this 3 months in. Usually people may have a trial period of 90 days, a 6-month review, or a yearly review. I have in my contract that I am going to be doing a yearly review. My yearly review comes up in September. So, knock on wood, everything is going well and everything will continue to go well. And in August, we will then approach my 1 year mark where I am hopefully going to get a raise. So put in your contract that you want a review where you guys will then discuss your performance, what you can do, how you can better yourself as their nanny, and possibilities of having a raise. Now, I wouldn't put in there how much you want for a raise, just because, I don't know, that might be a little bit tacky, because what if you've overachieved and excelled and you only gave yourself like, $1 raise or $50 a week extra, and you may deserve more? Or what if they want to give you more, but because you already put a limit, they're like, okay, well, I'm fine with giving her $20 extra, whatever. It's like, I kind of sold myself short there. So just wait for your annual raise and see, how things are going, and maybe you might get more than what you actually thought you were going to get. Now, responsibilities and duties should go towards the beginning of your contract. So there you want to list what you will be doing as a nanny, what you are responsible of, how many children are you going to be taking care of? Are you transporting them to and from activities? Are you helping with tidying up the house? And say specifically what those responsibilities are, because tidying up the house could be cleaning mom and dad's bedroom or cleaning their toilet. And it's like, whoa, I'm a nanny, I take care of kids. I'm not here to make your bed or to clean your bathroom or to fold your laundry. I am responsible for all things related: their bedroom, their laundry, their bathroom, their dishes, cooking for them, not for the whole family, unless, of course, you don't mind. And unless, of course, that's in your nanny contract and you are okay with that. So make sure you have all your duties and responsibilities listed out clear as day, so that if they tell you, hey, Joanne, can you take out the garbage? It's like, no, I will not take out the garbage. I don't even take out my own garbage. That's not part of my responsibilities. Let me see here. Yeah, no, not part of my responsibilities, but maybe next time. Thanks. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, make sure that you know what your responsibilities are and there's no gray area. If you have a question, ask. If you need some more clarity, make sure you ask and you also write that down. Termination clauses. If for whatever reason it doesn't go well, you want to have as much notice as possible, and you want to be courteous and give them as much notice as possible. So how much notice is a good notice? So typically there's a rule of thumb, 2 weeks. However, since you're dealing with a family, I think that at least 30 days notice is plenty. Now I know 30 days is a lot. However, you can also write in your clause, if you find employment sooner, or if they find somebody sooner, or it's just getting too complicated, then you have the choice to walk away, or they have the choice to walk away with perhaps severance pay. But typically you don't want to end on such a bad note where you just can't stand them. But I do know that happens. I do know of nannies who Friday comes along, they get into it, and Monday they're not working. And that's not a good position to be in for the family, because now they don't have a caregiver and now you don't have a job. So try to be professional. You don't want to leave your job like that, because you never know when you might need these people as a reference or as an extra gig. So try to keep it professional, even though I know things happen. But rule of thumb, 2 weeks, I would say at least 30 days. Now, lastly, this also should go into your duties and responsibilities, but mode of transportation. Are you using your own vehicle, or are you using the family vehicle? Are they paying you for gas? Are they going to help you wash and maintain your car, since you're going to be using it kind of on a day-to-day basis? Yes? No? Maybe? Make sure you ask, because I personally had a lease a couple years ago, and I was using my lease as a mode of transportation for my kids. And even though for the most part we stayed local, as you may or may not know, leases run off of a limited amount of miles. So leases, they typically give you around 10 to 12,000 miles a year. And if you're driving super far from here to school, to sports, to school, to CDC, to what, those miles may rack up. And in my car, there are no drinks except for water, and only hard foods like crackers or Cheerios or whatever. But even still, those foods get crumbly. So my car typically gets dirtier than it normally would if it was just me. So is gas included? I may need a car wash because your kids are messy, so give me some money. And if I go over my lease miles, who's paying for that? Because it's... Thankfully, I'm not using my vehicle anymore. I'm using the family vehicle, so I don't have to worry about that. But make sure that that's all on your contract. Thank you to all the subscribers that have already subscribed to my channel. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, at the end of this video or in the middle or simply now, you can always click the subscribe button and the like button if you like what you've heard so far.